How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into 14P Fantasy. Today, we are talking wide receivers to avoid Week 8. If you're not familiar, we're just talking some flex guys that are, on the edge of your lineups potentially. And, we're throwing some weight behind them saying, you know what, maybe sit them out this week. So we got three guys here. Let's get into it. Number one on the list, we have Tyler Boyd versus the New York Jets. And you think, oh, the New York Jets, this is a cakewalk matchup. It should be an easy one. The Jets really haven't been too terrible against wide receivers. A very middle of the road right now, 15th most difficult matchup. But slot receivers have struggled against the New York Jets this year, and that's exactly where Tyler Boyd is going to spend most of his time. So Tyler Boyd going up against Michael Carter, the corner, not the running back, and the Jets have allowed the second fewest points to the slot this season. On top of that, add in Tyler Boyd has only seen 5 targets a game the last 3 weeks. It's really tough to trust Tyler Boyd in what, feels like it should be a plus matchup. In reality, I think it's a much bigger Jamar Chase game because it's Jamar Chase, and every week it's a bigger matchup or a better matchup, but also a better T. Higgins game. I think Higgins should definitely be played over Boyd if for whatever reason you roster both. But some other guys that I'm glad to play over Tyler Boyd, and this one feels gross. Laviska Shenault against Seattle. I'll take that all day long. And then Devonta Smith even versus Detroit. I prefer both of those guys over Tyler Boyd. And honestly, over the next 2 guys on this list as well. The next one here, Jakobi Meyers. Obviously, the Chargers matchup is terrible. We all know this. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. It's the worst matchup in football for wide receivers. Only 25 points a game to the wide receiver. Where you beat the Chargers is on the ground with Damian Harris and over the middle with tight ends, because, again, they are a bottom 5 matchup for tight ends as well, or a bottom 5 matchup against tight ends, which means tight ends are going nuclear against the Chargers this year, which is why Hunter Henry, go check out the Studs and Duds video, makes the studs list. But Jakobi Meyers the last couple of weeks really just hasn't been the guy we saw early in the season. He's not seeing 10, 12-plus targets. He's really only seeing 6 targets a week over the last 3 games. He gets Chris Harris in the slot, who is just a beast of a man in there. So it's not going to go well for Jakobi Meyers. Love the talent, love him as a player. I don't think he breaks the touchdown streak this week, and I don't really think he catches more than 4 or 5 passes, and that's not what I'm looking for from a low-yardage wide receiver. Last guy on the list here, and this one, I am throwing out process. Usually looking for matchups to target and, highlight and say, okay, you know what? He's been bad, but the matchup is so good, it's tough to sit him. I don't care with Odell Beckham Jr. It just does not matter. I cannot confidently tell anybody to start OBJ until we see some kind of signs of life. He's yet to break 15 points this year. He's most likely playing with Case Keenum or a very injured Baker Mayfield. I just don't know how you can confidently put OBJ into your lineup. He's the only guy on this list because of matchup that I think, he in theory could make me look pretty stupid. However, I don't care. Like, if OBJ goes off, great for him, great for everybody that started him. There's not a chance I would be playing him because, again, you just haven't seen anything reliable or trustworthy from OBJ this year to think, yep, he's going to be a great play. All right, guys. Short and sweet and to the point. 3 guys there. If you got questions, drop them below. Trade stuff, start, sit, especially for Week 8, obviously. We'll answer as many as we can throughout the week. As always, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me over on Twitter at Justin_14P. All right, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.